bags last night, we flight 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much, I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man, burning out his fuse out there alone.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you today, Wheels. We wish you a great first EVA.
Thank you, and good morning, Shannon, and good morning to the control team in Houston. I'd like to say a special word of thanks and good morning to my wife, Kathy, and my daughter, Ashley. Thank you for that song. And also, from the airlock, special word of thanks to our EVA team, Dina in the front room, and Chica and Casbo, who should be in the EVA MIPSR, or soon will be there, and also to Mojo in the EVA Corps. Scott and I are ready, and we thank you for all your great training and all your hard work on this mission.
And we copy that, Wheels. We're ready also.
This is Mission Control Houston with views inside the station's Quest airlock, where the crew members are getting ready for the first spacewalk of this joint mission. The spacewalkers are Doug Wheelock on the left and Scott Parzynski on the right. Astronaut Paulo Nespoli is with them in the airlock to assist with them putting on their spacesuits and checking out all the support systems. Astronaut Peggy Whitson is also assisting with the preparations. The spacewalkers already have the liquid cooling garments on, the long underwear-looking garment that they wear inside or underneath their protective spacesuits, and this provides the air conditioning for the spacewalkers during the spacewalk. It is filled with tiny loops of water that is circulated around through the garment, and the water is cooled based on the crew members' preferences. This is astronaut Scott Parzynski's 5th space flight. He has over 20 hours of spacewalking experience already and is the lead spacewalker for this joint STS-120 10A mission at the International Space Station. This is astronaut Doug Wheelock's first spaceflight and hence his first spacewalk. Wheelock will join Parzynski on this first, third, and fourth spacewalk of the mission. Expedition 16 flight engineer Dan Tawney will conduct the second spacewalk with Parzynski, and the fifth spacewalk will be conducted by Station Commander Peggy Whitson and the other Expedition 16 flight engineer Yuri Malenchenko. This is Mission Control Houston with the view into the station's Quest airlock, looking past the equipment lock where some of the crew members are watching through the hatch to the crew lock where the spacewalkers are now located.
Did you miss Wheels waving at his fans?
I'm afraid so, Dragon. Oh, now the world sees him.
Okay, good deal.
Astronaut Doug Wheelock in his spacesuit inside the crew lock, standing by for the start of his first spacewalk.
My kids on Christmas morning, getting up early. Get out early. 1,000 Christmases. What's that, Scott? Good. I'm going to have to rotate around to get my SDU, so I'm just kind of experimenting with that. Yeah, I'm going to have to do the same. Showing 0.9.
Okay, copy. When we get to less than 0.5, we'll get clearance from the ground and open that hatch.
Beautiful.
So you guys can go outside and play.
We call it work, but you know better.
There isn't a better job, is there?
In the universe. Now converted over to sublimator P pressure, but it's the same, 0.5.
Okay, I copy 0.5. And Houston Alpha on the big loop, did you copy the 0.5?
Houston, copy. We're ready for hatch opening.
Okay, Scott, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Buddy, it's working there.
All right. You'll get skinny. Get skinny. Unlock. To the hard stop. I see light out there. Good thing. Wheels, we are not low. You're not going to believe this. Okay, I have it engaged in the locking tab there. Ready to proceed.
Okay, and my step is next. I'm going to take the emergency MPEV to close. And the emergency MPEV is closed. Paulo, how do you copy?
Copy you loud and clear, and I'm ready to pick up with the post depress.
Hey, they're all yours now. You boys
Thank you,
be
Peggy.
good out
Appreciate
there.
it. Thank you, Peg. You're great. Right, Scott and Wills. On your mark, power goes to battery. Okay, everyone. Going to battery. 3, 2, 1. And so you just started a day pass 5 minutes ago, more or less. So you're going to have a full day in front of you. That's the situation you're going to get. So visor and the rest. Visor down, EV1. Visor down, EV2. Okay, we are out of the post depress and we are on the timeline, on the EVA timeline. We have verified already the initial config. That's good. And Scott, you have a go to open the hatch thermal cover. It seems to me it's already open. It's open, yes it is. Okay, you have a go to egress the crew lock. Attach EV1 85 safety tether to forward airlock D-ring. That's complete. Hook is closed, locked, and I can verify that my reel is unlocked. Very good. Now attach wheels 85 to the lee inboard tether point. Transitioning to the arm, open up. Copy. Well, here, Collins, just going to go ahead and install the whip adapter before I put in wheels. Copy. And Paulo, this is Robotics Workstation. The SSRMS is not, we're almost in position for APFR install. We're about 20 away, but obviously Scott can get to it. We stopped because he was egressing, and if that's okay with him, we'll keep it there and call that APFR install position. That's great. So Scott, I understand that's a good position. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Very good. Copy.
And Wheels, as soon as Scott is clear, you have to go to egress the crew lock.
Okay. And are you cleared up now? Yes, I am. Okay. That'd be fine. Just stay, ISS on. Yeah. Roger that.
And Wheels, the first thing you do there is to close the hatch thermal cover.
Roger, that can work. Okay, that's complete, Powell. I'm ready for foot restraint if you concur.
Yes, if you have a minute here, we'll do safer configuration check.
Absolutely.
And you should perform a little bit of translation adaptation, Scott.
Okay. Okay, Powell, and the hatch thermal cover is closed.
Good, Wills. Next step is to retrieve the large trash bag from the fish stringer and install it on the right swing arm. And we'll take also a safer verification. Scott has already seen your handles down. You should double check and make sure you can reach them.
Copy. And Boichi, are you ready for me to install the APFR when I get there?
Affirm, Longbow.
Thank you, thank you.
And we will ask you for a call out of the setting.
You bet. I already have Papa Fox 6 set, but I'll verify the rest of it at 12 o'clock setting.
And the Papa Fox 6 are good settings, Scott.
Astronaut Doug Wheelock will go straight to the work site at the Z1 truss and set up on a portable foot restraint already installed there. He will be riding on the foot restraint on the end of the space station robotic arm once the S-band antenna structural assembly has been removed. He will have that in his hands while he rides on the station robotic arm to take it down to Discovery's cargo bay, as the arm is operated by astronauts Stephanie Wilson and Dan Tawney inside the station.
Okay, Wheels, if you're ready, we're going to start the showcast.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready, Dan.
Here we go. Here's motion.
Okay, I feel motion. Correct motion. Continue.
Let me know when you are at the Fellow Bay ODS port side.
I am there, Powell, and I'm just going to set up my new base and then hook it up.
Yes, before doing that, let's do a glove inspection.
Okay. I'm in the middle of attaching this. I'm going to do that first, and then I will be right with you.
Copy.
This is a view of the space station robotic arm in motion with astronaut Doug Wheelock on the end, holding on to the S-band antenna structural assembly en route to Discovery's cargo bay to stow that piece of hardware in place for return to Earth.
Maybe from oxidation or something like that, but no damage whatsoever to the RTV, and can't see any F-train, of course, and no flaps of RTV either. Looks like a good inspection.
And copy, just a minor discoloration on the right, and everything else is fine.
Good read.
So now
Good, Wheels.
Hey, Dano.
you install the your L-lock tethered to the ODS, and then translate to Node 2 handrail 369.
Okay.
And Discovery.
Stay ramping down here, Wheels.
Okay, feel that?
And Discovery Houston for EVA.
Go ahead
Just
for
wanted
Discovery.
to let you know that the thermos has been delivered for flight.
Oh, very good. Beautiful. Ask him how he's feeling. Just wonder how he's feeling, yeah.
He is feeling really good on day 3.
Copy. Thermos up in work.
That's awesome.
Wilson and Tani continuing the motion of the space station robotic arm. This is a view from a camera on Wheelock's spacesuit. From his point of view, astronaut Scott Perzinski in view on the left, already at Discovery's cargo bay. And this is a view from his helmet camera.
Okay, I've arrived.
Very good. So the first step there is to attempt to the large trash bag on 369.
Okay, pal, I'll just give you my checks real quick here. Temperatures are fine. No need for glove heaters. Visor is up. Lights remain on. My gloves, no delta from the prior inspection. Although it does seem to be a little bit of ice or something interesting. I need to do another calibration.
Oh, I see.
This view from Perzinski's helmet camera. He's working with a pistol grip tool to release a connector on the Harmony Node 2, part of the preparations for Harmony's installation on the International Space Station.
Turning.
Astronaut Doug Wheelock is close to Discovery's cargo bay on the end of the station robotic arm, being put in position to stow the S-band antenna structural assembly, piece of hardware that the crew members retrieved from the outside of the station.
So I'm going to read you a warning and a caution in PDGF.
That's great.
To place that in the cargo bay for return to Earth.
PDGF carving coupling to the potential sharp edges, and the caution is avoid touching PDGF grapple pin, target, and connector area.
Roger.
Okay, Wheels, we're ready to do one last maneuver into the bay here.
I'm ready for you, Dan.
Okay, motion's in.
Using your handhold, Dan. It's a beauty. On the PDGF. Attaching a tether, I can verify, Paolo, that the two aft.
And Scott, we were busy in the procedure. Did I hear that you're complete with all PDGF bolts?
That is affirmative.
Great job.
Yeah, thanks. It worked great. I'm just going to have to fairly my tether a little bit farther forward on the starboard ODS. It didn't hold on the TSA like I'd hoped. And then I'll be right at the work site.
Astronaut Doug Wheelock is on the end of the space station robotic arm, hovering above the cargo bay with the S-band antenna structural assembly in hand. That will be secured onto a carrier in Discovery's cargo bay for it to return to Earth.
I'm going to do the forward bolts first. Okay, I am in position. I have a great view of wheels. Looking huge. The lee is pretty well centered in the payload bay. Boot plate is kind of in line with the forward lip of the MBSU, so I'll keep a close eye on that as you come down.
Astronaut Stephanie Wilson moving the station robotic arm along with astronaut Dan Tani, bringing Wheelock closer into the cargo bay.
Between the NASA to its sidewall carrier and the payload liner to you.
I have it.
Okay, copy, thanks.
Good quick test of that on my socket caddy. Installing the rad.
Copy.
Alpha 7 clockwise 2 is set.
And you have a go to drive the mass bolts wheels. It should be around 6.5 turns to hard stop. I'll need the final turns and the torque.
Copy.
Okay, Wheels, if you're ready, then we'll move to the NASA clearance position.
Okay. And Dan, is that a manual by chance?
It is a manual, and it's going to be a little bit up out of the bay and a little bit towards the middle of the center of the bay port.
Okay, I'm just going to try to give Paolo a shot of this MLI by the handrail, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Okay. 11.5, 7.8, I believe. With the sun glint and the caps on tape over the display, I can't really read it, unfortunately, but I did get a green light, and I'm turning the forward lower.
Copy 11.5, 7.8 on the forward upper, with you on the lower.
Good deal.
Okay, Wheels and Paolo, we're giving you the go to egress the APFR.
Okay, copy, Dan.
And copy, Ben.
Although I'm out of the APFR. And as I'm here, I don't know if you can get a wireless shot of the snares I wanted to get from Mad Dog. Looks like the snares are in good shape on the SSRMS.
Copy.
Well, I bet Mr. Suffredini's happy. I think so. Got a Sassa. Sassa's coming home. Have you started that motion?
Sorry, Wheels, we just need a minute here, and we'll put that motion in.
Okay. Look at the full moon, Wheels, off to your right, over the starboard wing. What a view.
Okay, we're motion's in towards the starboard sail.
I see good motion. Okay, Dan, tools, tethers, and EMU is clear of the arm. And as far as I'm concerned, go. Good driving today.
Cool, you know, it's all rope. We're going to maneuver to the Node 2 pre-grapple.
That robo is awesome. Yeah, Dan and Phil, thanks for the ride.
No problem, man. You look great out there.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Thank you. Fun.
You gotta go.
Okay, Paolo, verify that Wheels is on the starboard ODS truss, gate closed and locked. Anyone at the aft flight deck?
And Scott, copy that gate closed and locked on Wheels tether.
Yes, good read.
Wheels, you gotta go to release your waist tether.
Copy.
This is Mission Control Houston with the view in Discovery's cargo bay. Astronaut Scott Parzynski in the foreground and astronaut Doug Wheelock in the background next to the Harmony node module as Discovery and the International Space Station pass 214 statute miles above South America. Astronauts Stephanie Wilson and Dan Tawney inside the Destiny Lab are maneuvering the space station robotic arm up out of Discovery's cargo bay after it's done being used as a work platform for the first task of the spacewalk.
That's the PDGF, Paolo.
Once the spacewalkers have completed the work around the Harmony node in Discovery's cargo bay, the station robotic arm will be used to remove the new module from the cargo bay and to install it on the International Space Station.
Glove inspection.
Okay, very good. Did you say 3 turns, Paolo?
5 turns total.
Okay, yes, we've already done 1, so I expect 4. Copy.
Parzynski is removing fasteners on the payload and data grapple fixture to release it from the sidewall of the cargo bay, where it was in place for launch.
Tango, Fox 12 is...
Okay, Paulo and guys, we're about ready to maneuver to the SSRMS, the Node 2 pre-grapple setup position.
Copy, thank you.
Station robotic arm operators Stephanie Wilson and Dan Tawney are moving the Canadarm2 into the pre-grapple position, poising it for removing the Harmony node from Discovery's cargo bay as spacewalkers Doug Wheelock and Scott Parazynski continue preparing it for its removal.
Payload bay tether point. That would work.
That is complete.
Copy.
That's probably far enough, yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to do it on the handrail that we're tethering to, so that way I'll be right here. Okay. Tighten up the CRT, too. 4 turns. All right.
Canadarm2 is now in position, standing by to latch onto the Harmony node module once the spacewalkers have completed the task to prepare it for removal from Discovery's cargo bay. Spacewalkers Scott Parazynski and Doug Wheelock are removing a payload and data grapple fixture for Harmony off of its stowed location for launch in Discovery's cargo bay. And they'll temporarily stow it on the outside of Harmony for installation during its external outfitting on a later spacewalk during this mission. The fixture will serve as an operating base for the station's robotic arm on the outside of the new Harmony module.
Okay. You can transfer again if you need to from here.
In addition to temporarily stowing the grapple fixture on the node,
Still stable at this point.
the spacewalkers will remove protective covers
Okay, one more transfer from
and disconnect power cables linking Harmony to Discovery.
I'm going to get the tether on here, Scott. Okay. I still got it tethered. Just once you release that, get BRT'd or in position. Okay, I've released. Okay. How do you like that BRT? I like it. Yeah, I knew you would. My best friend. Hey, wait a minute, I thought it was. Oh, wait, you are, Spike. Spike is my friend. Go ahead and turn around here. All right. Okay, we'll feel better. Okay, and I've got mine up here. I'll release your when you're ready. Right, okay, good deal. And you may release it. Okay? You've got control of the, I have yes, mostly control, yes.
Alpha Discovery for robotics.
Go ahead, Paulo.
And you have a go for node 2 grapple.
Okay, go for node 2 grapple.
Yeah, copy, Paulo, I'm clear of the FRGF. Sorry about that. Missing that call.
Okay, no problem. Following along.
Paulo?
Canadarm2 is now moving in for latching onto Harmony.
Yes, I'm actually on the equipment lock now.
Roger, copy. Then when you get there to the airlock, you'll attach wheels 85 safety tether to the aft airlock D-ring.
Roger. Okay, next up is the LTA cable. Here's my adjustable, which I will take with me this time. And I'm going to take that off first. Need this for the crew lock bag. Okay, the LTA cable has been transferred to the fish stringer now.
And copy.
This is a view from the camera on astronaut Scott Parazynski's spacesuit. He's setting up a work site at the Z1 truss to disconnect umbilicals between P6 and Z1, getting ready to remove P6 during the second spacewalk of the mission so it can be relocated.
Discovery Alpha on the big loop. We understand the RMS is at the Node 2 viewing position. CBCS setup is complete. We have been given a go for Node 2 unberth from Paolo, so you have a go for Perla Ops. Copy, go for Perla Ops.
It is. That's great news.
Alpha Discovery for SSRMS, you have a go for Node 2 unberthing. Copy, go for Node 2 unberth. Thank you.
Mission Specialist Stephanie Wilson and Dan Tawney are prepared to remove the new Harmony module from Discovery's cargo bay.
6020 showing Paulo on the clear lead.
And I'm sorry, Scott, I lost the last again.
So, Paulo, that was me. Wheels at 6020, I think, on the clear lead.
Copy, 6020. Can you take a quick look? You just looked at your gloves, so gloves are...
The space station robotic arm now in motion again to move Harmony up to the port side of the International Space Station to pause
there's a lot of...
before installation on the Unity node.
Station is the right word, but I guess there is atomic oxygen and reasonable quantities up here. I don't know if that's what's causing it or if it's lubricants, but if you can see my gloves, I have little spots on several of them. It does wipe off pretty easily onto MLI or any other surface that we go by.
Copy, Scott. I think the important now is that we record the location where this is happening and that there are no cuts or anything on the gloves.
No
I see that's the case.
Yeah, in terms of damage reports, otherwise the gloves look good. No RTB loss, even though we've been using forces on interfaces here today. No cuts to the RTB at all.
Roger, copy.
Nice, okay. I think it's pretty well centered on there, don't you? It looks like it. Okay. Mine doesn't quite reach the data standoff of 5303. Is that okay? Paulo?
Yeah, I'm looking at this, so...
It actually wraps around Scott and goes to the handrail that's essentially underneath.
You're hearing the voice of astronaut Scott Parazinski and Doug Wheelock as they're talking to IVA Officer Paolo Nespoli, serving as their intravehicular assistant, helping them work through the choreography of this spacewalk. Simultaneously, at other areas of the space station, the Space Station Flight Control team is using the station robotic arm to maneuver the Node 2 Harmony into its new home in space.
You could use the long black strap to tension and then tie this very easily to the handrail. Give it, the desired tension.
And Scott and Wills, do you have a minute?
Sure.
If you look down, starboard side, you're about to pass right over Houston. Say hello to MCC.
Get out of my BRT location. You say starboard side, huh?
That's affirm, you see the coastline there.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Where's the Earth? Oh, okay, there it is. Over Lake. Oh, yeah. Hello, Houston. There it is.
We see it. Enjoying your view with you.
We're waving. Wow, of course. Looks really beautiful from up here, that's for sure.
And okay, next view opportunity in about 20 minutes. We'll pass right over Italy.
Molto bene.
Right, we can see it. We can see there. You're missing a little bit of TV, right?
Yeah, right here and right here down by my lower joint too. I again, the Vectran, everything looks in good shape. Just couple little patches of RTV that's missing.
All right, copy. So you will win 2-1 over Scott on this.
Okay. EVA bump, Wheels. Give it up, brother. There you go. Hey, Wheels, look down. Look, ISS Nader. You'll see that they've got the node about 2 meters out. Oh, my goodness. Isn't that great?
Hey, what do you think? Robo and all the gang here has been working hard
Yes,
for
they
this
have.
node.
They just haven't been napping today, huh? Wow. Got that? Not yet. Okay. Stand by and hang on. You know, there's a WISP antenna of some sort here, and it wasn't mocked up in the pool. I'm not pulling it too tight onto the instrumentation, but... do you have it secured over the handrail? It is secured, yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, very good. I don't know if you have wireless Houston, but...
Scott, we can see it.
Okay.
We do have wireless.
Okay. Just want to make sure that you're...
And for Discovery...
Yep, my safety tether is at the end. Okay. Right here at the medium RU bag. Okay, can you backtrack? All right. I don't know if you copied that right at the medium or right at the one route. My safety tether has run out.
Yeah, I copy that, Wills, and I'm following along Scott, which Scott being able to put his strap on. And Scott, can you relocate and put the other one too?
Yes, I can. It may take me a little extra.
Yeah, you probably need to be back and forth a couple of times to cinch it down, but it looks good.
Good, thank you.
You're seeing a close-in view of the Node 2 Harmony module being
The little pocket that they made, right?
moved in for it's in its ready to latch position. Given the go rather for that next maneuver that will place Harmony in its temporary home on the International Space Station.
And from Houston for EVA, we like the route config. Great job.
And Houston, thank you, appreciate it. So Scott, I think you are complete with that one.
Okay.
And there is just the last action for you before actually while heading back to the airlock is the SASA connector mate, and then we are finished with the nominal flight.
Okay, very
I
good.
think we just have just about enough time to do this.
Great. Well, great day in outer space. Let's head on back to the ranch. I think also we have a crew lock bag to pick up, and maybe I don't know, maybe that'll be deferred, but a cheater bar.
You can see in this view the Node 2 in the upper right portion of your view, the newest module being added to the International Space Station. It's a length of 23 feet, diameter 14 and
Try to locate that.
14 and a half feet, and it's being slowly moved in. Now we're turning to video of the International Space Station, the robotic arm continuing to put the Node 2 in its latch position with the International Space Station. The ground control team confirming that they have got the module in position and will be maneuvering to the next step, which is the first stage capture, one of 2 stage captures adding this new module to the International Space Station.
And Paulo, interesting I've got in the translation path that I came up here at port app, and now have a Node 2 sitting here. I guess I cannot touch any of those handrails, correct? Just want to be careful there.
And that's affirmed.
Roger. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. When I came through here, there wasn't a node here.
Block 10, starting in the second block for the UIA steps.
Roger, copy. We'll go to the second bolt line, procedure 4.141, and we'll start on block 10.
That's a good copy. We'll pick up there with the second part of block 10.
Good job on the node. It's awesome.
Yeah, I sat around and made lunch for everybody and watched them just totally do a fantastic job.
It was so cool. We saw it hanging out there, and then that was my translation path out to the end of P6, and I was on my way back. I was like, oh, there's a node here now. Rambo, bringing harmony.
Houston Alpha on 2 for robotics.
Go ahead, Dan.
Kevin, just to let you know, we've just completed the ungrapple procedure, and it's been a long robotics day, and we are greatly indebted to our fantastic team of robotics trainers and console operators. We're thinking about Mad Dog and Elbow today, and all the folks that got us here and helped us. And
Okay, well, everybody appreciates your work, Dan, and thank you guys. Look at where you're in the timeline. You guys ended up about an hour and a half ahead or so, so we appreciate you working right through lunch and getting it all done.
No problem at all.
And Alpha Houston on the big loop, we're on board with video in the airlock.
Copy.
This is a view in the Quest airlock. The hatch now open. Peggy Whitson in the center of your view there.
Okay, thank you.
Whitson and Nespoli will be now moving in to assist the spacewalkers with their the rest of their procedures. But again, the first EVA for this start operation now complete. A total elapsed time 6 hours 14 minutes.
And Alpha from Houston for EVA, we will take comm mode to hardline now.
Great working with you today, Kevin Capon and Bo Derek there. Great job.
There in the center of your view is first-time spaceflight flyer and now a spacewalker, Doug Wheelock. He's in the EMU, or the U.S. spacesuit, with the all white, and Parazinski remaining in the airlock and has solid red bands helping to distinguish the two.
Alpha from Houston on the big loop, we are 100% complete with all the CBM operations today. Node 2 is mated to Node 1, and we're in great shape. Whenever you guys are ready to begin the vestibule pressurization checks, we'll take those. And also, we'll take the CBCS camera off. It's in Yuri's line at 1818.
And Houston Alpha copies all. We'll put the vestibule in work here shortly, and we'll make sure that the CBCS camera gets off. Off and stowed, or just off?
At this point, we'll just take it off.
Okay, copy. Thanks, Kevin.
This is a view of the two spacewalkers, Doug Wheelock and Scott Parazinski, now being assisted by Expedition 16 Commander Peggy Whitson at the right of your view in the light green, and being assisted also by Paulo Nespoli in the long sleeve light blue, sharing some high fives there after the completion of the first spacewalk, the first of 5 that are planned for these joint docked operations. Perezinski is in the suit on the right with the red stripes, and Wheelock is on the left in the solid white suit after now completing his first spacewalk ever, 6 hours, 14 minutes of EVA time to his credit. Whitson and Nespoli will continue to help the two with removal of their spacewalk tools as well as the spacesuits themselves.
Hey, is Dina still in the room?
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Dina, this one's for you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dina. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you. I don't know if you caught the message earlier 5 minutes ago, ATU-6 was locked up. I don't know if you got a chance to work on it.
Those were some birthday wishes from the on-orbit crew to Dina Cantella, the lead EVA officer.
And now we'll look into it, pal.
Houston on 2 for vestibule leak check. First incremental pressure is at 250 millimeters.
We copy. Eclipse made a note. Thanks, Clay.
And Discovery Houston on Air to Ground 2, before we get your info on PGSCs, we're ready for play on the video playback.
Okay, here it comes.
You're watching downlink video from the orbiting complex. This is a video of the pre-spacewalk activity. The 2 spacewalkers there as they were getting into their liquid cooling garments. That is a layer they wear underneath the EMUs or the U.S. spacesuits. Paulo Nespoli in the center of your view there, who served as the intravehicular officer who helps to choreograph the spacewalks from inside, assisting the crew members as they work through their scheduled tasks. Also in the view, Expedition 16 Commander Peggy Whitson in the green short-sleeve shirt, and the 2 spacewalkers, Scott Perezinski to the right of your view with the pre-breathe mask on, and also Doug Wheelock in the lower left portion of your view. We're continuing with replay of footage from today's earlier activities. This is a look in Shuttle Payloads Bay when it still had the Node 2 Harmony module within that payload bay. It's since been removed and now relocated on a temporary position on the International Space Station, which will be its new home in space. This is Mission Control Houston with replay video from today's on-orbit activities. A little bit of whimsy there in the flight deck. Penguins referring to a class of astronauts. Of which George Zamka, first-time spaceflight flyer there, displaying his enthusiasm for being on orbit.
Discovery Houston on Air-to-Ground 2 for the video playback. You can press stop. We got all that we're going to get for tonight.
Hey, Tony.
Go ahead, Paulo.
So I checked the card in the KFX machine downstairs and it was empty, so we put in a new card.
Okay, great. We appreciate it. We'll work on getting those pictures off there. And that was all we had for y'all tonight. Thanks for all your hard work. Great job on the EVA, and have a good night.
Thank you, Tony. Really appreciate it. I'm sorry this network is giving us and you problems. We'll keep working on it, and thank you for your work.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you today, Paulo. And we certainly hope that you've had a little bit of time to look out and see the beautiful stars since you've been up there in space.
Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Shannon. Yes, stars are really beautiful, and from up here, they're even more beautiful. Thank you to Sasha. Thank you to everybody who made this possible. I really appreciate it. And buongiorno Houston, buongiorno Shannon, le stelle sono belle e da qui sono ancora molto più belle. Grazie a tutti, grazie a Sasha, grazie a tutti quelli che hanno lavorato con me in questi anni per rendere questo sogno possibile. Grazie.
Thanks a lot, Paulo.
In Houston, today's long-distance dedication from KISS Radio goes out to our newest guest on board the International Space Station, the Node 2 module, dubbed Harmony. So that was a little Elton John welcoming her to the fold.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch video inside the station's Unity node. Astronaut Clay Anderson and astronaut Dan Tawney have been working on clearing equipment from the interface that will lead into the new Harmony node, preparing that area for astronauts Peggy Whitson and Paulo Nespoli to later outfit the vestibule and then open the hatch into the new module. The view from a camera in Space Shuttle Discovery's payload bay, looking at the International Space Station. In view are the shuttle and station robotic arms that will be put in motion soon this morning to hand over the shuttle's boom extension to the station robotic arms so the boom can be placed back in the cargo bay, resting on its latches on the starboard sill. Since the focused inspection using that boom and its sensors is not required to look at Discovery's heat shield, no specific areas were identified by the analysis conducted of the standard inspections that have been done so far in this mission. This is Mission Control Houston with views of the movement of the Space Station robotic arm, Canadarm2. It is being put into position to latch onto the boom extension for the shuttle robotic arm so that it can be placed back in a latch position on the sill of the payload bay.
Alpha Discovery on the big loop for SSRMS. Can you just confirm for us you're in step 5 of the maneuver to OBSS handoff pre-grapple? Discovery, that's affirmative. Step 5 in motion. Houston Discovery for PDRS. Do you have any problem with us going to course rate on this shoulder yaw motion?
Checking. And Discovery for PDRS, your go for course rates.
Thank you.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch views of the movement of the Space Shuttle robotic arm, putting the orbiter boom sensor system, the extension of the shuttle robotic arm into position to hand off to the station robotic arm so that the boom extension can be placed in Discovery's cargo bay by the station robotic arm. The Space Shuttle Discovery and the International Space Station are currently orbiting 213 statute miles above the Earth, skirting along the northwest coast of Africa. This view shows the station robotic arm latched onto the orbiter boom sensor system. The shuttle robotic arm is releasing the orbiter boom sensor system that is now in the grasp of the space station robotic arm. The space station robotic arm, Canadarm2, is now moving the orbiter boom sensor system for its placement back on the starboard sill of Discovery's payload bay.
And Houston Alpha on 2 for vestibule.
All right, go ahead, Peggy.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that that procedure is complete, and Paula's going to take that camera over and show you guys the inside. It looks great. It looks actually pretty free of debris and FOD, which is great.
That is a great downlink video. We appreciate it.
And would you like us to continue with the ingress?
Yeah, Peggy, we have KU until about 12:32, and we know it's your meal time. But the ingress procedure, you see we already have the lights on. We were thinking you'd have to, if you do the ingress, you'd have to do steps 2 all the way through 13 to go ahead and take the air samples. We're estimating a max of about 15 minutes to do the whole thing. And we'd love to have live KU when you're doing it. If you're willing to do it now, we'll take it. But if you want to defer, we'll live with that too.
Okay, stand by. We were organizing something with the shuttle crew, so stand by.
Copy.
Astronaut Paolo Nespoli of the Italian Space Agency and European Space Agency providing the view inside the Harmony Node 2 module that was built for NASA by Thales Alenia Space in Torino, Italy.
And Houston Alpha on shuttle assets, I don't know which one this is. Do we have permission to ingress?
And Peggy, you have a go to ingress node 2.
This is Mission Control Houston. The hatch into the new Harmony Node 2 module opened at 7:24 a.m. Central Time.
And Houston Alpha on air to ground 1. Air sampling is being performed now. The Russian samples are being taken. Grab samples complete. CSA CP readings are 20.1. CO is 2. And HCN is minus 0.1 and 0 for HCL.
We copy the numbers. Those all sound great, Peggy.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here on this very beautiful piece of hardware. Of course, it was built in Europe, in Italy, by an agreement with the European Space Agency and the Italian Space Agency, and built by the Italian industry. I'd like to thank everybody that has worked hard in making this possible and allowing the space station to be built even further and preparing the place for the Columbus laboratory, the European laboratory, and the Japanese laboratory.
And Houston, we just wanted to welcome the Harmony module on board the International Space Station. It's not bursted in its final location, but we've opened the hatch to enter, and we wanted to acknowledge the fact that, and christen the Harmony module itself. We think the Harmony module is Harmony is a very good name for this module because it represents the culmination of a lot of international partner work and will allow additional international partner modules to be added on. Harmony came to be, the name Harmony came to be from a contest of many different schools around the country. Over 2,200 school children participated in this contest, and we wanted to acknowledge those schools. And I fogged over. So Sue Wilson's third grade class at Buchanan Elementary School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Bridget Berry's eighth grade class at League City Intermediate School in League City, Texas. Bradley News, ninth grade science class at Lubbock High School in Lubbock, Texas. And Russell Yoakum's third grade class at West Navarine Intermediate School in Navarine, Florida. David Dexheimer's school at the World Group Home in Montana, Wisconsin. And Paulo wanted to repeat his words in Italian as well.
Sì, volevo solo ringraziare ancora tutti quelli che hanno lavorato per la costruzione e la preparazione di questo nodo, che è molto importante per la Stazione Spaziale Internazionale in quanto consentirà l'aggancio del modulo del laboratorio europeo Columbus e il laboratorio giapponese. Volevo ringraziare in particolare l'Agenzia Spaziale Italiana, l'Agenzia Spaziale Europea e tutta l'industria italiana che hanno lavorato così bene per fare in modo che questa cosa succeda. Grazie a tutti.
And Houston, Alpha, how did you copy from Harmony?
We copied all from you, Peggy, and Paolo. Congrats on opening up our new gateway to the international partners at Node 2, and we appreciate all your words for everybody.
Okay, thanks a bunch. And Peggy, I've just got one more thing. I received as a gift from some of the people who worked on the naming of Harmony this beautiful necklace with a Harmony charm on it. And it seemed appropriate to me that the commander of the International Space Station who welcomed Harmony should have this. Thank you so much. That's beautiful.
Okay, great work, you guys, and congratulations again.
This is Mission Control Houston with the hatch open into the new Harmony Node 2 module linked to the Unity node currently on board the International Space Station. The outfitting of Harmony, both internally and externally, will continue through this joint STS-120 Space Shuttle mission, the 10A assembly mission at the International Space Station. Harmony is the first pressurized module to be added to the International Space Station since September of 2001, when the Russian Pirs docking compartment and airlock was added. This is Mission Control Houston with the view on board the International Space Station, looking from the Unity node into the Harmony node. Expedition 16 Commander Peggy Whitson inside the Harmony module, and Discovery Mission Specialist Scott Perzynski in the hatchway.
Houston Alpha on air to ground for no 2 ingress.
Go ahead, Peggy, for no 2 ingress.
Okay, the ventilation duct installation has been performed at step 16.1.
Okay, we copy, Peggy, that 16.1 is complete, and we are happy to take care of 16.2 through 16.6 if you'd like.
Please do that.
Okay, we will, and we'll call you when they're done.
This is a view from about 200 miles overhead as the orbiting complex is making its way over the Pacific Ocean, just about to cross over the western coast of Mexico. This a look with the Russian segment in the center of your view. At the end, the vehicle docked there. The top of your screen is a Progress cargo craft that's used to transfer supplies and equipment up to the International Space Station.
Commander, from what we've seen, No. 2 Harmony looks great. It looks wonderful in that picture. How does it look to you, and how well did it fare after launch and ascent?
Actually, it looks great. There is no apparent damage or anything from the ventilation to clear out the air. We didn't see much debris at all. We were anticipating there might be some dust and debris, and we didn't really have anything significant at all. So we're real pleased about that. And we got limited power in here and some data so that we can keep track of what's going on in here.
We know that having both you and Commander Whitson aboard as 2 female commanders is a coincidence, but it's also a first, and I'm wondering what kind of message this sends to girls and young women who wish to follow in your footsteps.
Well, I think Peggy and I both feel that we're just doing what we wanted most to do in life, and I think that's the most important message to all boys and girls, that you should look into your own heart and follow your dreams. But we're also hopeful that someday it means we'll see a woman commander leading an expedition to Mars.
Moving the P6 solar array segment out to the end of the main truss, how confident you are that you all will be able to pull that off?
Well, Bill, our confidence level is very high. We're very excited. We've trained for this task, and we are ready. We're even ready for any contingencies we might see. We're very excited about our spacewalk tomorrow with Scott and Dan going out the door, and Steph and I will be backing them up on robotics, and we're just real excited about the events tomorrow.
Is there anything in particular that those of us on the outside looking in should be paying special attention to? I mean, it's billed as a pretty challenging task. I mean, I'm just wondering how challenging you see this.
Well, it is very challenging. It's a fairly massive payload, as you know, the P6, and we've got it on the end of the arm. It's a very large moment arm, and so we're going to be very careful, and it's moving a fairly large mass, fairly long distance. So we're being very attentive to those things as well.
They're wondering, like us, how you're enjoying your first command, and I'll throw into that how confident you are about getting P6 moved.
I'm certainly enjoying the mission a lot. I think it's a little different when you're the commander because you tend to worry about things a little bit more than you do when you're So I would say that I am cautiously confident. I believe in the crew. I know that they're ready to do this task, and both crews are ready to cope with whatever comes, and we're very hopeful.
We understand that you've made a special request for tonight's World Series Game 3. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm a huge sports fan, and the ground is gracious enough to allow me to watch sporting events as they come by, and I think the World Series is always a classic. So we have Steph Wilson, who's a Red Sox fan, and they're up 2-0, but we're hoping the Rockies might make it interesting, or at least I am, and so we hope to watch that a little bit.
You know, we know you want to have a big steak as soon as you get home, but I imagine, like a lot of long-duration flyers, you must have mixed feelings about leaving the space station after making this your home for the past 6 months.
Yes, that's very true. It's a bittersweet time for me. I have a lot of blood, sweat, and tears invested up here in my home for the last 5 months, and even though I'm very, very excited to be going home and seeing my family and friends again, you know, when you spend time doing something like this in a place as special as this, it's quite difficult to let go and to be able to release it to the next group. But she's in great hands, and with this new module and all that's to come, it's going to be a very exciting time for the International Space Station. I'm proud to have served with her.
Moving that P6 array looks pretty sporty to me. I was just wondering how she feels going into this as an arm operator. Thanks.
Well, it is a very challenging task, but we, of course, have had a great team training us on the ground, so we're prepared for whatever may come. But we've been flying the arm for 2 days now, starting with our docking day, and we had some experience with our EVA-1. So we are prepared to fly the arm, and we think it'll do great handling P6.
Pam, NASA tells us things are pretty smooth from your perspective. How's it going up there?
Well, the first few days of any mission is pretty chaotic is probably a better word. We've just added so much stuff that happens in Flight Day 2 with the inspections and so forth that we just felt like we were, you know, going straight from one thing to the next and hardly having time to sit and think about it. But, you know, upon reflection, looking back over the last few days, it has gone very smoothly, and we're excited about that. But there's a lot of work left to come.
The Russians gave you a whip to use up there if you need it. I want you to point out which one of the guys up there have you had the most trouble with? Have you had to use that whip? Aha, is that you, Clay?
The guys have been great up here, but Clay and I have joked around about it a lot, so that's why we were pointing at Clay. He played wake-up music for the ground the other day, and it was Whip It.
What have you been doing up there causing trouble?
I've been as nice as a choir boy. I don't understand all this harassment that I've been getting.
How have the women been doing up there in charge of both the shuttle and the space station? And you don't see any difference between what they do and your male colleagues, do you?
Absolutely not. They've been awesome. You know, Fyodor Yurchikhin said it really very well. He said, we're all professionals, and, you know, the male-female thing doesn't enter into it. We know we have a job to do. We're well-trained to do that job, and these two ladies are outstanding commanders, and I would fly with them anytime, any place, anywhere.
All right, back to you, Peggy Whitson. How's the view from up there?
It's actually even more spectacular than I remembered. It's unfortunate that when you leave this place, that only a few short weeks, and you forget how beautiful it can be. The colors, the richness of the colors, the beauty of our planet are amazing. And it's really, truly very difficult to articulate in words how beautiful.
Yeah, for the first time that I've set eyes on it, I see that The colors are brilliant because there's so much light up here, and there is a tremendous amount of blue that comes from the Earth. As a matter of fact, when the sun comes up, it's like a blue rainbow going around the Earth, so it's particularly beautiful.
The entire community has been watching and very excited about your mission, your third trip to space. What surprised you this time?
I think the biggest surprise has been how much additional work has grown. As the station has grown, our schedules have grown as well. And of course, we've added some more activities on Flight Day 2 with inspecting the shuttle after ascent. And so what I found is just that the pace has picked up. And I found that on my second flight from my first flight. So I'm not sure exactly how much more work we can squeeze in the future.
What is the most challenging part as commander this time around?
I think for me the most challenging part has been wanting to be in 3 places at once. I want to be where all the big things are happening so that I can be there to help or just to watch and, you know, if anything goes wrong, to know about it right away. And I can't do that. And so I have to sort of pick a place to be and sort of stay there for a little while until I think it's time to go somewhere else. And I just wish that I could be in more than one place at once.
Well, so much has been made about the historical significance of this mission. How much has that been on your mind, Pam?
Actually, not very much. What's more been on my mind is the significance of delivering Node 2, Harmony, to the station. This is a really special moment for the station because it kicks off the international science portion of the International Space Station's life cycle. And that, to me, is extremely important. So I love the idea that delivering this node is beginning a whole new era of science in space.
How daunting a project has this been in terms of other things that you've all done in space?
And Jenny, I had the privilege to fly an STS-121. It's the second return to flight mission, and it was very different. We tested test objectives for the shuttle to return to flight, and each mission is complex in a different way. In this one, we have a lot of assembly tasks, we have a lot of spacewalks, and also adding a module and ingressing. Each mission is special and complex in its own way, but this one is very complex also.
Which job would you rather have, commander of the shuttle or of the space station?
Well, actually, that's not that hard to answer. At first I thought it was, and then I thought about it, and I remembered that I'm the one who gets to land the shuttle. And for somebody who's been a professional pilot for over 20 years, longer than that, actually that is going to be a very thrilling moment for me. So I'm really looking forward to landing the shuttle, and so I think that's a special part of it that for a pilot I think will be amazing for me.
And Zach, one more question for you on 2 here before we bid you good night. We have a couple of EMU batteries still charging in here tonight. I assume that's the normal plan, and they'll be terminated first thing in the morning before the EVA.
And Scott, you are correct.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for all of your help today, and we're looking forward to a very successful and exciting EVA tomorrow. Right.
Not a problem. You guys get plenty of rest. It's going to be a busy day for you tomorrow.
Officially christened their latest addition, a school bus-sized room called Harmony. It will function like a nerve center, providing air, electricity and water for the orbiting laboratory. The shuttle commander says she and the space station commander are excited about their mission.
I think Peggy and I both feel that we're just doing what we wanted most to do in life, and I think that's the most important message to all boys and girls, that you should look into your own heart and follow your dreams. But we're also hopeful that someday it means we'll see a woman commander leading an expedition to Mars.
And less than 2 hours from now, astronauts will conduct a second spacewalk. That's world news. World sport is coming up, but the headlines are next.
Astronauten der Internationalen Raumstation ISS haben mit dem Aufbau eines riesigen Sonnensegels begonnen. Außerdem montierten sie bereits eine Kranhalterung. Die Installationen sind nötig vor der Ankunft des europäischen Weltraumlabors Columbus, das im Dezember an die ISS andocken soll. Die komplizierte Außenmission jetzt dauerte über 6 Stunden.
Auf der Internationalen Raumstation ISS. Die Astronauten haben mit der Umsetzung von gut 70 Meter breiten Sonnensegeln begonnen. Zudem brachten sie Ausrüstungsteile an dem neuen Verbindungsmodul Harmony an. Mit dem vor 2 Tagen montierten Modul erweitert sich der Arbeitsraum auf der ISS um die Größe eines Busses. Im Dezember soll das europäische Weltraumlabor Columbus daran ankoppeln.
Haben 2 Astronauten mit der Verlegung der Sonnensegel an der Internationalen Raumstation ISS begonnen. 6,5 Stunden waren Scott Parasinski und Dan Tenney dazu im All. Die NASA spricht von einem vollen Erfolg. Zudem arbeiteten die Astronauten an der Außenwand des neuen Moduls Harmony. Dort soll im Dezember das europäische Raumlabor Columbus angekoppelt werden.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Good morning, Discovery. A special good morning to you today, Scott. It's a great day for an EVA.
That's how you do it, Shannon. That's how you start the day in space. I can't think of a more beautiful way to begin the day than hear those words, and I think it really describes the view from space, especially as seen through an EMU visor. Real looking forward to getting out there today with my good friend Dan, and I'd like to thank my wife Gail and my kids Luke and Jenna. They really helped me see the wonder of the world. Have a great day, Shannon.
This is Mission Control Houston with a view inside the International Space Station's Quest airlock with astronauts Paulo Nespoli and Dan Tawney in view. Tawney is wearing the oxygen mask, continuing the pre-breathe protocol before he conducts the spacewalk with astronaut Scott Parasinski, also floating into view there. Nespoli and Station Commander Peggy Whitson are assisting the spacewalkers with going through the preparations this morning. The spacewalking team is inside the Quest airlock with the hatch to the rest of the station closed again in the preparations for today's spacewalk. The pressure in the Quest airlock will be decreased slightly, and that's underway now from the standard 14.7 pounds per square inch to the 10.2 psi. That's the same level that Tawney and Parasinski slept in the airlock at overnight. This is part of the procedure to purge nitrogen from their blood systems to help prevent them experiencing any symptoms of decompression sickness or the bends while wearing their low pressure spacesuits, which are held at about 4.3 psi. This will be the 5th spacewalk for Parasinski, who conducted the first spacewalk on this mission already. So far he has 26 hours and 5 minutes of spacewalking time. He will be wearing a spacesuit that will be identifiable by the solid red stripes on the legs and the backpack. This will be Tawney's 2nd spacewalk. He conducted one during the STS-120 mission to the International Space Station and has 4 hours and 12 minutes of spacewalking experience. Tawney will be recognizable by wearing a spacesuit that has broken red stripes on the legs.
Houston Discovery, for PDRS, we've got a operator command light and a ready light, and we're going to hit proceed and move to the pre-cradle position.
On Air Ground 2, Zambo, we're watching.
Copy, Fergie, yes. Sorry, on Air to Ground 2, here we go.
This is Mission Control Houston with a view of the Space Shuttle robotic arm, Canadarm, being maneuvered. Operated by Mission Specialist Stephanie Wilson and being monitored by pilot George Zamka.
Verify that everybody heard about pulling up the robotics activity by an hour to stay in sync with EVA activities.
Discovery copy.
With the shuttle robotic arm now in its pre-cradle position, the next robotic operations will be with the station robotic arm. Astronaut Stephanie Wilson completed the shuttle operations and will move over into the lab on the station side to operate the station arm with astronaut Doug Wheelock to detach the end that's attached to the Destiny lab fixture so that it will be free and able to move up to grapple onto the P6 truss. You can see here astronauts Paulo Nespoli and Peggy Whitson have been assisting with the spacewalk preparations, putting Tani and Perezinski into their suits and putting them inside the crew lock section of Quest now.
IV, EV1, and EV2. This is Alpha on the big loop. SSRMS P6 grapple is complete.
Good job, Wheels. Awesome, Robo.
And when the crew lock is at 2 psi, depress pump manual ISO going to close. Scott.
Okay, we're at 1.3, so we're a little late on that. Sorry. It is now closed.
Houston Discovery, did you copy that you're welcome on board the flight deck camera view, which is currently at window 2?
And Pam, we did copy that. Thank you.
Yeah, with the current sun angle, there are a lot of reflections, but hopefully when the sun angle changes, we'll have a nice view of the P6 unberth.
And Pam, we copy, and we have a good view now. Thank you.
This now a view provided by a camera set up by the Space Shuttle astronauts in a window looking out toward the P6 truss up above the Space Shuttle Discovery. The space station robotic arm is attached to the P6 truss and is poised to detach the P6 element from the Z1 truss once spacewalkers Dan Tani and Scott Perezinski have mated the remaining power and data umbilicals and released the 4 bolts attaching the two together. This is a snapshot of a view from a video camera looking at the Quest airlock. The hatch is open, the crew members getting set up to exit.
Egressing. Hello? And Dan, am I clear out? You're clear? Great. Good to be back, Dan?
And it's good to be back in space.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, they did a good job with this space station model.
Yeah.
So the real thing's going to look just like this, right?
Just like the pool.
Yeah, wow.
This is Mission Control Houston, about 1 hour into today's spacewalk. The 4 bolts that connect the P6 to the Z1 truss have been loosened, and now the crew members will work together to release all 4 of those.
Allison says the Baj looks beautiful.
Tani has also released all 4 ground straps.
The wire ties really helped. That was really made it a little bit stronger. I've released it from the Tani feather. Patent pending. Do you need to get in here?
This is a view from Tani's helmet camera on his spacesuit. Astronaut Scott Parzynski is in view here too.
Careful, aggressive red.
The crew members getting the correct tools to continue on with releasing the 4 bolts between the P6 and Z1 trusses.
Ben, let us know about that AVFR.
I will.
I'm curious.
Wow, beautiful Terminator. That blue, red color around the Earth Terminator. Fantastic. You're lucky dog. You get to see that for another couple months. Yeah. Okay, I'm at the 23 grounding strap, and still off 5 counterclockwise 2, and 1, 2. Well, that released it like 2.5. Copy. That's funny, I don't think I saw it at the other corner. Turning. Corner 4. Copy, Scott.
This view from astronaut Dan Tani's helmet camera shows him releasing 1 final grounding strap.
10. Okay, Apollo 23 ground straps complete. That's ready for a socket swap. I think it looks good, Dan. Yeah, I agree. I think surveying the whole zenith face of Z1 and everything, I don't see any threats. I agree with you.
Roger, so let me recap here. I see that all 4 faces look clear. Is that correct?
EV1. EV2.
Roger, and your tethers are clear, no tools.
Tools, tethers, EMUs out of the way. And 2 agrees.
Very good. Let me know when you are in position.
1's in position. 2's in position.
Roger. Alpha Discovery for robotics.
Go ahead, Paolo.
That, you have a go to take the baby away.
Copy. Go to DMate P6, and we also copy the EV1 and EV2 are in position to monitor separation.
Verified, Wheels. Verified. Go to our flambeau.
And Scott and Wheels, you'll monitor the separation until the pins are out of the cups and the capture bar is clear of the CLA.
Copy. Got 2 copies.
And just a reminder for both vehicles, no exercise during DMate.
And Discovery copy is clean.
And Alpha copies Houston, and Houston, we're in step 4 in beginning with DMate P6 from Z1.
We're with you.
Houston, EV1 and EV2, motion on P6 momentarily.
Okay,
Houston, copies.
Ready. I see motion. Good motion. Good motion. Good direction. Space remains clear.
Copy, good motion.
Okay, just at the slope of the pin now. Okay. Looks symmetric to me. I agree. Clean separation plane. Pins are free of the Z1 interface. We're just waiting to get the capture
right down the middle. Don't drop it. Yeah, really. Right at the boundary of the capture envelope, or the claw. The CLA, yep. I see you free of the CLA. I see 10 free of the CLA. Copy that pins out of cup and captured by clear CLA. Is that correct? Yes. That's firm.
Alpha copies. Thanks, guys.
Nice driving. Good driving. Good work, Doug and Scott and Dan. Back to work. And let's go to Note 2.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm on
Can
my
you
way.
see in my wireless video the wire that I was talking about, Paulo?
I see your wireless, but I don't see the wire. Can you point at it?
Left hand.
Yeah, it's difficult. How far away from you is that?
The P6 truss now detached from the space station, latched by the space station robotic arm.
Is that correct?
Okay, and then just beyond that.
I see something there. I cannot really make it out, but I see it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Wilson and Wheelock will maneuver the P6 truss into a position to hand it off to the Space Shuttle robotic arm so that the station robotic arm can be relocated to closer to its the P6 installation point on the outboard port truss. That handoff and relocation will be done tomorrow, and then the P6 installation will be done during the third spacewalk.
Specify.
Alpha on the big loop, the SSRMS is at the intermediate position with the P6 in tow. We are complete with step 6.1, and you have a go for KU antenna auto track.
Hello. And Houston copies on the big loop. Thank you.
Tani is on the crew equipment translation aid cart on the starboard truss, inspecting a handrail that was suspected maybe to have sharp edges due to impacts from micrometeoroid debris. He's photographing that area, making observations that nothing seems to be a sharp edge, and he will take pictures from different angles for engineers to analyze.
Copy, that's what Scott is doing.
3.8 on the right for handrail 358. And it gave like a 10.
This is Mission Control Houston with the view of the P6 truss structure. Towards the bottom middle of the screen would be the end of the truss that has the solar array wings that are retracted and in the blanket boxes. Those will be redeployed after the P6 is installed in its permanent location on the outboard port side of the station's truss structure.
Handrail to you that you already installed.
It is in the process of being maneuvered to a point to hand it off to the shuttle robotic arm from the station robotic arm, and that handoff will allow the station robotic arm to be relocated tomorrow on top of its mobile base system down the truss railway closer to the P6 installation point, where the shuttle arm then can hand the P6 element back to the station arm.
Corner 12, cover 12, swing arms are all out of the way, and 6 bolts. Looking ahead, nothing obvious, clearance looks good, all the swing arms are out.
This is Mission Control Houston with 2 hours and 31 minutes into today's spacewalk, monitoring conversations between astronaut Dan Tani and Paulo Nespoli. Tani outside inspecting around the Solar Alpha rotary joint and relaying the conditions to Nespoli, serving as the spacewalk choreographer, as Mission Control monitors for any indications that might be the cause of friction detected during rotation of that joint recently.
Okay, let me tell you what I see. On the outer race, and if you have Larry's video,
we do.
I took all the pictures, but there are
lots of very fine metal shavings, and I can see that because the motor that is the what is that? That's a trunnion bearing. TBA 0134 has a lot of those metal iron shavings. It's like the toy that you get with the metal iron filings, and you put a magnet under it, and they stand straight up. And so,
and then 1 second. We got a good description there, but we are zooming. So let's see if we can center those. I need to go left.
I need to go left.
Yeah, with your head with the camera. And can you yaw right?
This way?
Yes, and still yaw left a little bit. Do we see correctly that you're describing the bearings and the shavings on near the teeth of the wheel there?
Yeah, and on this big motor, it looks like a big magnet that is this upper roller. I don't know why that'd be a magnet here, but there's a magnet. I see micro switches. There's 2 micro switches on it, and a metal square 2 by 2 inch by 2 inch cube that I believe holds the roller, and it must be magnetic because it looks like there are these iron filings or shavings on it. There's quite a bit, and then the inner race, the outer race, the flat part is discolored. If you can see that, it's so from the teeth, the angled portion that are between the teeth and the thin part of the race is all sort of discolored. I would almost say corroded, of course, in some way. And then there are even some filings over by. I'm going to look up. There's a connector here that says J15 outboard. Looks like there's some filings there. There must be something magnetic or something to hold those on. And then I don't know if you can see my wireless. I'm going to point to it. I'll let go of the cover. Here, there's some filings there. And the whole inside of along the inside of the inner race. And I would say the weird thing is that the race, the outer race, the angled part, just below the teeth, is really an odd, damaged surface.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch video from the helmet camera on astronaut Dan Tawney's spacesuit, now working with some equipment to take samples of the metal shavings or filings that he's observed inside the Solar Alpha rotary joint for those to be returned to Earth for analysis.
Okay, I'm removing them from samples I'm taking. I'm removing from the this big square thing on the trundle bearing assembly.
That's perfect. We have good WVS, and that is the bracket.
Okay, it's not a bracket. It looks like a big motor or something. It's got micro switches on it. Anyway, it looks like a magnet because it looks like it's got those it looks like one of those toys that you have as a kid.
Okay, and ground copied, and that is the piece we're looking for.
When I took the tape samples, I liberated a few flakes. It looks like flakes. I can see on the inner race, the stationary one, along the flat surface, the big flat surface that joins adjacent to the surface that the teeth are cut into, you can see dust and small flakes of this stuff all over. It looks like a dusty table that you'd want to dust at home. The same is true on the outer race, that flat surface. The inner quarter, 3/16, meaning the area closest to the teeth, is relatively unaffected. There's a little bit of excursion of the damage into it, but then it goes all the way up the ramp, all the way to where it meets the corner.
Yeah, so see that on the bracket there with the 3 rivets there is a big ding up there. Is that a ding?
Those are metal shavings, and there must be some magnetism or something there because they create a circular form there.
So you take a sample of those, are those the same nature you think of the other one?
I think it's all the same, yes. I do think it's the same.
All right, copy.
This is a view from the helmet camera on astronaut Scott Parzynski's spacesuit as he continues to work on the outside of the new Harmony Node 2 module. Continuing to install various accessories on the outside, including handrails to be used by spacewalkers.
Those are good cups, Scott, and you should tether to MLI and remove caps from the following outboard jacks. You store them in a trash bag and reinstall the MLI cover. You start with J614, J616, and I give you a reference handrail if you want.
I'm right above 614, and I think 612 is maybe something over for me.
It's actually 614, 616.
Okay, 616. Okay, I see that as well. Good work.
Good thing, Scott. Next step is to retrieve a single size 25 or cap 25 from the barge 2.
Oh, right. Where the other is released, clean sockets. So I'm about to let me do the first, the 489 mate first.
Copy, release 491 release. So now it's 489 into 489 and 491 into 491.
Okay. Good pin, clean connector, no O-ring flying out. Good EMI band, good socket.
Copy.
Glad you got rid of it for me, Dan. I go back, reverse the same thing a couple days from now. Yeah, that's up to you. You could have lost it, huh? Yeah.
This is Mission Control Houston with video from the helmet camera on astronaut Dan Tani's spacesuit as he's reconfiguring connections within the S0 truss to eventually supply the power to the P6 element once it is installed in its permanent location on the outboard port side of the station's truss structure.
Are you BRT now?
I was trying to find a better body position. I got the blue line lined up. Leaving
Go ahead, Houston, for the MJSU bypass jumper.
Yeah, we'd like to offer the option of using an APFR for Dan if you like it. There's one on the inboard CETA cart. We can give you the details if you're interested.
I've got pretty good PRTs in here, but give me another minute with it and we'll see.
No problem. Just wanted to know it's an option.
Okay, thanks. I think this may require beefcake.
Yeah, and then if I understand correctly, it doesn't even pre-mate there when you snap it in, right?
I cannot get it fully pre-soft docked.
Yeah, that's what and that's of course kind of stupid question here. Is the right connector? Is 489? Is that correct?
489. T489J491J489. That's what it says on the harness. And it's clean. That's not the issue. Tapping down the big MLI flap here, Paulo, and I think I'm done with the gang of 12 and all the aft.
Meanwhile, D'Antoni, the newest member of the Expedition 16 crew, is working on the connections on the main bus switching unit, connecting jumpers to support the Port 6.
Houston for EV1.
Go ahead for EV1.
Yeah, we were listening to the comments there. We'd like to just have EV1 put the trash bag straight into the bus as opposed to removing the stuff from the bag.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely copy and concur.
Do you have any tool on you that could help you in getting down there?
I don't think so. The EVA grabber tool.
This is Mission Control Houston with a view as spacewalker Scott Parazynski working on the exterior of the node, doing some external outfitting tasks on that newest module. This again, continuing view from the International Space Station. In the left portion of your view, EV1 Scott Parazynski, now on the second spacewalk of the mission, just making his way underneath the node where he's been working.
Okay, 43.
Yeah, we are ready, given where we are now with the Medox recovery, ready to start the PDGF task. We would like for you to do the task just the best way you can to keep the CO2 level down for EV3.
Copy.
And copy. So, Scott, let's forget for a second about that pit pin.
Yeah, concur. I'm going to put a ret on adjustable here. Okay, I'm straight on the adjustable. Okay. Should I put a red on it, you think? I'd like to, but not necessary. Whatever.
All right, let me give you a warning and a caution here. Avoid touching curvy coupling due to potential sharp edges, and avoid touching grapple pin, target, and underside of PDGF.
Okay, copy that.
And
I'm ready to translate. Okay, I'm worried about my tether, so we may have to stop and stop at any time. Yep, exactly. Okay. Transfer. Go. On. Transfer. Go. On. Make sure my safety tether gets looped around this keel. Yeah. Can you grab that? That's go by. I can. Transfer. Go. I'm on, but let's stabilize right here. Okay. Make sure safety tether reel up and over. I'm on. Oh, shoot. Can you grab onto the cam if you can? Can you hold it on the cam? I've got the cam. Okay, great.
This is a view from D'Antoni's headset, and in the view, his fellow spacewalker Scott Parazynski there in the left portion of your view. The two now with the power data grapple fixture and making their way where they will install it for its permanent location on the Node 2, the newly installed Harmony.
Structure, if you can, go. Got one. That's how you do it. Takes a lot of downward pressure. It took the MOI flap out as well. There you go. Sweet. Sorry, that's a little cool. I got mine. I got one of mine. Great. Good news. Buckle up. Buckle up. We got one more to go here. You can knuckle up. This one? Yes, I can. Pulling out is approved by your doctor. Personal position. Hey, Paula, can you give me context? I hear you loud and clear. Okay, I've only got you in my right ear, and that dropped off about 5 minutes ago. Copy, so you're only on the right ear. Yeah, you're a little bit muffled. Really clear. Okay. And we'll actually drive clockwise to 5 turns until torque stall. Copy. Alpha 7, clock 2 on the aft outboard, running. I think I got about, oh, there we go. What do you think that was, Dan? 3.5, 4? I'm sorry, I wasn't watching. Okay. I think around 3.5 to 4 turns. Copy. Around 3.5.
This is a view from the out looking in at the two spacewalkers now on the nadir side of the Node 2, the Harmony module, which has been added to the International Space Station. The two are working through the procedures for the installation of a power data grapple fixture. It was temporarily stood on another portion of the node and now moved to its permanent position. They need to install four fasteners as well as 2 connectors, and that will enable the space station arm to be able to attach to this module. As you can see, the power data grapple fixture is the mechanism. There at the lower left portion of your view, the two both working on that installation task.
Yes, and I missed outboard what?
You're also hearing the voice of Paulo Nespoli, who is a mission specialist on the shuttle crew, but serving as the IV or intravehicular officer, helping the two spacewalkers to follow along on their procedures and help them with the choreography of these numerous tasks.
What do you think there, Dan? 3/4 of a turn? I think it took a little bit of a turn, yeah, maybe a quarter turn. I was going to say at least half, but okay. Okay. I'll do mine. So this is aft inboard. What? Okay, thank you. Free floating here. My BRT off. Okay, and I'm out of the foot restraint. Copy. Hey, don't make any big moves until we backtrack our van. I'm going to have to go outboard, I think, to free up my tether, and then I can come around and get you the cable if that's what Houston wants us to do. Okay. I can see the horseshoe connectors. I can go aft and get them. This is here. So I think you want to forward and get them, I guess. You got to drive the bolts first, so. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the...
Houston, big picture for EVA.
Go ahead with a big picture.
Okay, I am Bodgified, your Paolo. I've got Bodge 2, and heading on back.
And Discovery from Houston, one more Delta for EV1.
Go ahead with the Delta.
Yeah, the EDF guys were wondering if EV1 could run by the PDGF and just do a pull test at all 4 corners.
And we're talking about the one on the airlock with 10, right?
No. The PDGF, yeah.
The newly
That's a good idea, probably. Yeah, okay. Copy. Now I copied. I'm with you. Full test on the PDGF.
And just to scan, Paolo. They want me to pull on the lanyards of the EDFs. Is that their desire?
Well, I'd like ground to clarify that.
Yeah. No.
That is affirmative. We copy.
And you have a go then.
Okay, great. Oh, look at the barge.
Then let me know what you drop in so I can mark it off.
Okay.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
This is a view of spacewalker Scott Parazynski. Performing just a quick pull test on the power data grapple fixture, making sure it's in a proper configuration as the two wrap up their spacewalk for 6 hours 5 minutes in the phase elapsed time for this EVA, and Dan Tani making his way in the Quest airlock with a report to IV Officer Paolo Nespoli, reporting a rundown of the equipment he's bringing back with him.
2, 3 rats, one holding the camera, one holding the caddy, and one loose, and that's it.
And copy. Copy that. Thank you.
Okay, not even asked if Congress could get the PDGF off. It's very secure. Not going anywhere.
Very good, Scott. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Discovery, Houston for EVA.
Houston Discovery, go ahead.
Paolo, we are happy with Scott doing the APFR inspection.
And we copy. Thank you.
620? Yes. I see number 10 right here. I'm just going to go over the top of the airlock, check it out. Just in particular looking at the active whip and the paddles for any sharp edge.
All right, I think unless ground has any other request, we'll...
Break for just 30 seconds. So I'm looking at my hometown. Really? Yeah, let me see if I can find Lombard. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's an awesome view. It was fantastic. Nice clear day down there. It's nice fall weather. And I see O'Hare Airport, so I can make out my hometown Lombard. Too bad about those cubbies, though. Yeah, well, there's always next century.
Yeah, guys, that's... All right, I understand your excitement. They want us on SU in 14 minutes.
Understand. I'm on my way in, Dan.
So, Scott, you come back there and ground will tell us if they want anything more on that APFR. Meanwhile, I'll do an inventory with Dan.
Go. Are you pulling thermal cover close? Yeah. Great. Okay, now you just kind of pivot. Great. All right, unlatched. There we go, and then there. Yep. That's what I remember. It looks seated. Okay. You're latched. I think you got it. I think I got it. Okay. I don't know if it's Paolo or Peggy. Hatch is closed.
And Peggy is yours for the press cue card.
Okay, I copy Paolo.
And I copy you, Dan, that the EV hatch is closed. And can you guys, you can disconnect your waste tethers at this time.
Okay.
Okay, now switch your comm mode to hardline.
Okay, before I just wanted to thank the DIVA team down in Mission Control, Dina, Allison, Sarah, and Monica, and of course Flight, Dirk Hospin, and everybody else. Great day.
Bow and LeBeau.
Bow and LeBeau. Going to hardline if you want.
Okay, 2 going hardline, 2.
Thanks for the kudos. Everybody's feeling the love.
This is Mission Control Houston with a look inside the airlock where you can see Commander Peggy Whitson in the left portion of your view, wheellock in the center, and Nespoli just out of view on the top portion of your view. As you can see, the spacewalkers, at least one now out of their spacesuit, the EMU suit there in the right portion of your view, and a crew member in their liquid cooling garment on the right. Those are the garments they wear underneath the spacesuit. They have embedded hosing that has water running through it, and that enables them to control the water temperature and keeping them at a comfortable level throughout the EVA activity. Now coming into view, Dan Tawney, after his second spacewalk, his first for the mission, but he will have additional spacewalks as he moves into his long-duration stay on board the International Space Station.
Houston Alpha on air to ground 2 for metal shavings.
Go ahead, Dembo.
Yeah, we're wondering if you had KU right now. I'd float over to a camera with, get as close as I could with the tape with the metal shavings on it so you could see it.
We gotcha. Okay, we see him. Give us just a second.
Okay, I'm with you on 2. Base to ground 2 now.
Thanks, Pambo. I think that's as good as we're going to be able to get from you.
And Tony, to elaborate a little bit on this video, to put it together, yesterday evening we got both the shuttle and station crews together, and we shared a delicious Italian meal with some specialties that Paulo had arranged for us to have, including some, I remember the candies best of all. They were chocolate-covered coffee drops and chocolate-covered coffee beans, but we also had a lot of other delicious dishes, and we were sharing them with our station crewmates, and you can recognize some faces in there.
And Zambo, we copy all. Thanks for the commentary. Discovery Houston on air to ground 2, Zambo. We see the video, and the whole Orbit 2 team was enthralled by watching y'all eating 0G. We'll try to get some video of us tomorrow eating in 1G, and we'll save that for you when you get back.
Copy, loud and clear, Houston. Yeah, that tape ran a little longer than I thought it did, but yeah, we'd appreciate sights from home. But we do have, we're into some of what happened today now. That was obviously to walk off from the lab, and there's Wheels and Robo doing that work in the on the way to grappling P6.
And we copy and we see it. Thanks.
Okay, Tony, I think we bingo picture cards tonight. We'll get you some more tomorrow. And hey, thanks for being a great Orbit 2 team. We appreciate it, and thanks for enjoying our meal with us. And boy, we'd like to watch you guys in action down there. You guys do a lot for us, and we appreciate all the help.
Okay, we copy all, Zambo. And then I guess the one other thing was we'll be ready for the error log resets when you get through, when you get to them in step 5 of the pre-sleep for all the DPS stuff. And I think that's the last thing on my list.
Okay, Tony, copy. Step 5 is the last thing for us, and we'll put those in work, and I understand you're ready for the error log resets.
That's a good copy. Have a good night.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you today, Stephanie, and welcome to your 7th day in space.
Good morning, Shannon. Space is certainly a special place to be, and I'd like to thank my parents, Barbara and Jean, for that song. I love them very much, and I couldn't do this mission or anything that I've done in my life without their love and their support. Thank you.
Commanding is underway to deploy radiator number 1 on the station's starboard truss. The radiator panel you see deployed in this view is radiator number 2, and that has been deployed for some time now. And it and a single radiator deployed on the port side truss were sufficient to shed the heat loads that are generated by the International Space Station's equipment. But with the arrival now of the Harmony node and the imminent arrival of additional modules on upcoming space shuttle missions, the remaining radiator panels to be deployed to increase the station's external thermal control system's capability to dissipate heat generated by the equipment on board. And movement visible now. The S1 number 1 radiator is being deployed.
Houston Discovery on Air to Ground 2 for a question about the photo TV cards.
Discovery Houston, go ahead. We're listening.
Hey, good morning, Shannon. We are trying to remember if when you guys downlink our cards and you take the pictures from them, do you save them off anywhere on one of our hard drives?
Discovery Houston, Pam, the answer is yes. We store it in 2 places on KFX, and we can give you the path name if that's if you want it.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could give us the path name.
Stand by one. And Discovery Houston for Pam, while we're waiting, when you see Stephanie, you can let her know that the Red Sox won the World Series. Well, I take it met your approval.
Really, Shannon, that's great news. Go Sox! Woo!
You're welcome.
Alpha and Discovery, heads up, we're about 1 minute out from deploying radiator number 3.
In this view on the outside of the International Space Station, the radiator panel is slowly deploying on the left center of the screen. This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch the deployment of the third in the set of 3 radiator panels on the starboard 1 truss segment.
Houston Alpha on 2 for the DPC.
Good morning, Peggy, Yuri, Clay, and Dan. The daily summary's on board. Of course, there's some deltas to the Form 24, but OSTPV is correct, and I have several items this morning.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, the first one is I got a little Saturday science project for you on Monday today. We'd like to know if the shavings that you collected, or Dan collected, on the tape are ferrous metal. So we suggest that you use the TVIS emergency stop magnet to check and then report the results back to us.
Okay, well, the TVIS emergency stop, and we'll see if they're magnetic. We had already stored those on the shuttle, but I know I can get them back from Pambo. No problem. We'll check it out. And Houston Alpha on 2 for the science question. Saturday science on Monday.
Okay, we're watching on TV right along with you.
It's very definitively ferrous.
Don Pettit, eat your heart out, huh?
I wouldn't even pretend to come close to Don Pettit.
Okay, I feel like this is an episode right out of the Mythbusters here. It's definitely ferrous.
Capcom Hal Getzelman during the daily planning conference to test the shavings that astronaut Dan Tawney collected during yesterday's spacewalk on the solar alpha rotary joint that he inspected to see if those were magnetic, and joking about it being a Saturday morning science activity that was initiated by Expedition 16 flight engineer Don Pettit, choosing to do some additional science experiments on his Saturday morning time off, and that has continued through the expeditions. And obviously showing that those samples collected by Tawney are magnetic. Just another point of information to add to what engineers are discussing about the solar alpha rotary joint on the starboard truss after Tawney collected those samples and provided video of part of the interior of that joint. The shuttle robotic arm is being operated by Discovery's astronauts Stephanie Wilson and George Zamka, being positioned in to latch onto the P6 truss. that is currently being held by the space station robotic arm, Canadarm2. Once the shuttle robotic arm is latched onto P6, astronauts Clay Anderson and Dan Tawney on board the International Space Station will command the station robotic arm to release the P6. The Space Shuttle robotic arm now has a firm grasp on the P6 truss segment. Inside the station, some of the astronauts are working with the space suits and the spacewalking equipment, preparing for the third spacewalk. Also reconfiguring astronaut Dan Tawney's suit from yesterday's spacewalk so it can be used by astronaut Peggy Whitson on the fifth spacewalk. This is Mission Control Houston. The robotics officer in the International Space Station Flight Control Room reports a good release of the station robotic arm from the P6 truss.
And Houston, on 2 for Robo, we're in step 3.3, ready to back off.
Houston copies 3.3, Space Ground 2, and we concur.
P6 now is in the sole grasp of the Space Shuttle robotic arm so that the station robotic arm can be maneuvered into a stowed standard position on top of the mobile base system and relocated down the truss railway for the P6 installation on the outboard end of the truss. This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch a view of the space station robotic arm being moved into a standard stow position on top of the mobile base system to secure it in place during the movement of the base on top of its mobile transporter, a rail car that moves up and down the truss railway to different work sites for the station robotic arm. Inside the station's Quest airlock, the crew members continuing to set up equipment for the third spacewalk Tuesday. The robotics officer here in Mission Control confirming that the mobile transporter is moving. On top of the transporter is the mobile base system and the station's robotic arm, Canadarm2, being moved from its work site number 4 atop the S0 truss to its work site number 8 atop the P3 truss, about an 80-foot move. The transporter moving at a rate of about 2.5 centimeters a second, or about 5 feet per minute. The arm and the mobile base system are 2 of the 3 parts of the Canadian Mobile Servicing System that assists with the assembly and maintenance of the International Space Station. The third part will be the Special Purpose Dexterous Manipulator, or Dexter, which is a smaller 2-armed robot capable of handling delicate assembly tasks, and that component is scheduled to launch and be installed on the station during the STS-123 mission that is targeted for launch in February.
How are things going in the airlock this morning, Wheels?
Going great, KB, thanks.
Hey, you're getting lots
Good morning
of time
to the team down there.
Hey, thanks a lot. You're getting lots of time on our front board here. So behave.
Did I tuck my shirt in? Hey, just wanted to, actually, while we're doing that, Scott and I are obviously getting ready for EVA 3 tomorrow. Just wanted to thank Dina and Chica for the volumetric procedures here. Everything's working great. Thanks.
Yeah, and lots of off-duty time for you to study them today, too.
I think Scott and I would rather spend our off-duty time in here getting ready.
Yeah, it works for us, and hopefully you guys are enjoying these EVAs as much as we are. It's been great.
This is Mission Control Houston with the view inside the station's Quest airlock, where astronauts Doug Wheelock and Scott Perezinski have continued to set up for their spacewalk on Tuesday. Wheelock calling down a thanks to Dina and Chica, referring to Dina Cantella, the lead spacewalk officer, and Allison Bollinger, the lead spacewalk task trainer for the STS-120 spacewalks.
Alpha Houston on Air Ground 2, we are on board with video and harmony. Looking marvelous, Dan.
This is Mission Control Houston with the view inside the new Node 2 Harmony module. Astronaut Dan Tawney, along with Station Commander Peggy Whitson, has been working on outfitting some of the avionics racks inside the module today.
And Houston, the arm's in motion.
Houston copies, arm in motion.
That voice call down from astronaut Clay Anderson, who is with Tawney now in the Destiny Laboratory module and operating the station robotic arm, Canadarm2, to move it back over to latch onto the P6 truss and conduct the handoff again. Canadarm2 had given the P6 truss to the shuttle arm earlier this morning so that Canadarm2 and its mobile operating base could be relocated down the truss railway to a point closer to the edge of the truss where P6 will be installed on Tuesday. The station robotic arm is now being operated from a new work site on the P3 truss. The station arm is being operated by astronauts Dan Tawney and Clay Anderson. And over on the Space Shuttle Discovery, astronauts George Zamka and Stephanie Wilson will command the shuttle robotic arm to release P6 after Canadarm2 is grappled to it. In this camera view, we're looking down the Space Shuttle robotic arm that is currently attached to P6. This shows the space station robotic arm poised to move in to latch onto P6. It currently is in the pre-grapple position. The P6 truss is a nearly 35,000-pound piece of hardware that was installed initially on the International Space Station in 2000 on the STS-97 mission. Its solar array wings were deployed to provide the initial gathering of sunlight and power generation for the complex, and now it's being relocated during this mission to its final position on the outboard side of the station to complete the 4 pairs of solar array wings. Once the station is complete, it will have those 4 pairs, 3 on orbit currently, and the final set on the S6 truss will be installed in a future mission.
And Houston Alpha on the big loop, we have grappled P6, good Fig Newtons on board.
Houston copies.
Houston Discovery on the big loop. The SRMS operator on Discovery has a go to ungrapple P6 and maneuver to the pre-cradle position.
Discovery copies. We have a go to ungrapple P6 and maneuver to pre-cradle.
And Houston Alpha on the big loop from the robotics workstation. Just wanted to tell Mad Dog and Elbow and J-Lo and Jordan that we're thinking of them, and it's a heck of a lot more fun flying the arm with some Huey Lewis in the background.
Okay, Robo says he copies. Thanks for those words.
Canadarm, the space shuttle robotic arm, now backing away from the P6 truss since the station robotic arm, Canadarm 2, is attached. This in the handoff procedure to hand P6 back to the station robotic arm for installation on the truss on Tuesday. This now a view from a camera posted inside the Space Shuttle Discovery at a window to watch the detachment of the shuttle robotic arm from the P6 truss.
Alpha Discovery on the big loop. For the SSRMS operator, P6 ungrapple is complete.
Alpha copies.
And Houston copied on the big loop, and both vehicles are now go for exercise again. Thanks.
This a view on board in the U.S. Node 2, known as Harmony, the newest addition to the International Space Station, and some of the crew members there, as you can see, as they're wrapping up their crew day with a little bit of off-duty time following the PAO event.
And for Node 2, Houston, we got the video downlink. It looks great, and now we understand what Zambo means about why it's hard to get to bed on time.
We're in the tail end of the crew day, a day that's been fairly light duty, including some off-duty time, but otherwise some steady preparations for tomorrow's spacewalk activity.
Okay, and then the last thing is I think the MMT meeting is still going on, but we got word from them that just what you had told us today, you thought would happen is going to happen. So we're going to make EVA 4 full duration. We expect it to be Sarge, but the activities are still, I guess, a little TBD. And then we are going to add a dock today before EVA number 5. And I just got a note from flight asking if you could pass that on to the station folks, that's our approved plan from the MMT.
We will certainly do that, yes.
Okay, and I think that's everything on my list. If the network reconfig goes without a hiccup, then I guess we can make this our good night call, but we'll definitely be here to answer any questions you have as you work through that.
Thank you much. Wouldn't surprise me if I did call and ask for help. Like I said, we're second string up here on the flight deck with PGSCs, but we'll hopefully figure it out.